Hello, and welcome to Wow in the Word, where ordinarily we look at different wows which God put in His Word for us to find. This right here is part of our mini-series on the Coffee Shop Pastor. My name is Pastor Mark Femmel, and I'm a pastor over here at zionmh.org. You can check us out and check out some sermons and Bible studies there. Or you can check me out and all of your other favorite churchy folk over here at urenew.org, where you can hear pastors and other people put encouraging posts, as well as get your prayers prayed for by people all around the world. So here is an update from your coffee shop pastor of how things are going over at our local coffee shop. On Monday, I'm sitting there talking with somebody, one of my friends who had stopped by, had a great conversation, and someone who else was in the coffee shop left sort of around the same time. And as I'm walking out, having, my sign, hello, I'm a local pastor here for your questions, answers, prayer requests, and encouragement needs. Apparently she was reading my sign the whole time. And as I'm walking out, she drives up and I can see her. She sees me, she slows down, she rolls down her window and she says, "Hey, can you pray for a friend of mine?" And it was so cool because I got a chance to talk to her a little bit. And I prayed with her right there. Big encouragement. If anything really bad happens and someone confides that in you, they let you know about it. Pray with them like right on the spot. Now, don't worry if your prayers are really fancy. God doesn't really like fancy words. We all sound like a bunch of 4-year-olds talking to Him anyway, but He loves hearing us. And don't worry if your prayer is not long enough. Actually, the simpler and the shorter your prayer is, the better it is. Jesus even says this in Matthew chapter 6, and He's God, so that makes Him a professional, an expert on how prayer is supposed to be. Keep it short, keep it simple, keep it clean. On Wednesday, I was there in the line, and I decided to just kind of have a conversation with her, just right there in the line, and she was completely open to it. Didn't like scream her head off at me for having a conversation. We didn't really talk about like spiritual matters so much, but a person in a pastor outfit did have a conversation with her, and so hopefully that kind of does a little bit of positive PR for the kingdom of God, for the people of God. A really neat thing there is if you're waiting in line and somebody has like their phone out, by all means, just make some sort of casual comment or some sort of a conversation starter, and they're probably going to want to talk with you because they're in the line and they're looking at their phone because they're not able to drive or to go or to be where they want to be. And from my experience, with very few exceptions, does anybody really want to be on their phone when they're in line? They're really just spending time doing whatever they can to burn time. So talk to that person who's phubbing you, someone who's snubbing the whole world to play around on their phone. You can check it out. Google phubbing. It's a real word. That brings us to Friday. On Friday, I chatted with a person in the line and I met no resistance. And then right after I got my coffee, I go over to where the cream and sugar is. Not because I'm a wimp and I need cream and sugar, but just because, other people were there. So I'm over at the cream and the sugar bar, and I see these two women talking, and I was able to kind of hear what they were talking about and kind of slip into the conversation. We didn't get a chance to do kingdom talk. I did drop in a couple of little kingdom of God phrases, but God did not see fit to make those little seeds sprout. So just the same, they knew that there's a person in a pastor costume, someone dressed up as a pastor, who was open to talking to them and extremely friendly, extremely approachable. And hopefully when these people that I'm making soft conversation with come back, they'll see me and hopefully it'll be just an open door. Now I want to update everybody on one of the most pressing issues of our time, and that's parking lot bumper dislocation. Here's a picture on Monday. You can check it out right here in the picture. You can see that this parking lot bumper that I fixed, which should look like this, on Monday looked like this. Now on Wednesday, as I'm walking up, there was no parking lot bumper in the wrong place. And I checked again today on Friday, and the parking lot bumper is nowhere to be found. So I just want to thank all of you for sharing my video and telling all of your friends about this poor little parking lot bumper that was dislocated and lost because it must be now returned to its home. So thank you, and please help me just raise awareness about parking lot bumper dislocation. It's a modern day tragedy. Overall, the project I think is going pretty well. We're learning different information. People in the morning are really on their way to somewhere, like at 7:30 or at 8 o'clock or 8:30. They're on their way to work, on their way to a meeting, on their way to a breakfast, whatever. In the afternoon, I think, or late afternoon, people are going to be less likely to be on their way somewhere, more like on their way home or to watch TV or maybe just to be there for a meeting. So I think it's going to be a better time. Now, I want to kind of tie all this up with one thought as I'm sitting there in the coffee shop. If we do not intentionally share the faith, then we're not going to do it. It's a lot like cutting the grass. It's a lot easier to let it go for another day and then another day, and then finally just kind of get comfortable with having really long grass and making all the neighbors mad. If we're not intentionally sharing the faith, it's not going to get done. That's why I'm intentionally putting this on the calendar and doing this. It's also, you're helping me, because by me having these videos, it's a lot harder for me to skip out if I've got to get like a Bible study prepared for. If we make time for the things that are important, they're going to get done. And all the things that we have to get done, the regular routine stuff, it'll get done too. A myth that a lot of Christians are totally comfortable with is that it's an option to share the faith. Jesus, when he came back, he told all of us, all Christians, that our job is to intentionally share the faith. If we're not intentionally sharing the faith, we're not doing what Jesus has us here on this earth to do. That doesn't mean you have to be a pastor, right? There are people out there who instantly, when I hear share the faith, are going to get all upset. But it's not, you have to be a pastor. No. Pastors, actually, we're so insulated from the outside world. You have the greatest opportunity to share the faith with people who you work with, people you work out with, people that you run with or bike with, or people that you make quilts with or bake with or play cards with. You are around people who need what God has gifted you. If you sprinkle your regular conversations with little kingdom of God comments like, what are your plans to do this weekend? Well, I'm going to cut the grass and I'm going to go to church and then probably have a barbecue. Or, what have you been watching lately? Well, I was watching some YouTube videos, the Skit Guys or GodTube. Just drop those kind of comments into your regular conversation. And those are kingdom of God seeds. And God will bless those seeds to grow as he sees fit. But nothing will grow if nothing is planted. So I'm asking you to partner with me to pray that this coffee shop pastor thing works, but also to try to find a way where you are and with what God has blessed you to be able to do or to know, how you can use those as opportunities to plant those gospel seeds. So next week I'll come back and I will probably be at a different time later in the afternoon. In the meantime, if you want to find me, you can check out some of my sermons or Bible studies over here at zionmh.org. Where I'm a pastor at Zion Lutheran in Maryland Heights, Missouri. Or you can check me out and all your other favorite churchy folks who are putting stuff on urenew.org. And get your prayers on there, get people praying for you. People you don't even know can now come alongside of you and support you, and people that are hurting around you just by having the internet. In the meantime, if you need an immediate fix now, check out these Wow in the Word videos. You can check out previous coffee shop pastors or a new Bible study I'm working on right now, the Gospel of Matthew, or hey, just have fun on Wow in the Word.